The games industry is known for its ever-shifting trends, although we get to see it come full circle in some aspects. The 6th and 7th generation of consoles was known for their middle-market titles, experimental games built on a small budget and limited scope that tried to do something different from the norm. Many of the biggest franchises that we know and love today stemmed from this very same AA market. While its popularity gradually waned towards the end of the 7th console generation, with most publishers being hesitant to fund any projects that could be risky, we are seeing a resurgence in the popularity of the middle market once again. Thanks to Steam Early Access and a wide array of publicly available development tools, we are seeing small teams take on projects that could very well give many AAA releases a run for their money. In this feature series, we've highlighted many such games: Black Myth Wukong, Ill, and Wronged Us, just to name a few. Today, we'll be looking at The Invincible, a sci-fi exploration game that's currently in development at Starwood Industries, and has the publisher backing of 11-Bit, the team behind the excellent city builder Frostpunk. Starwood Industries is a relatively small independent studio, and is composed of veterans from other AAA studios. The Invincible, the studio's debut title, is based on a novel by the same name that's written by Polish sci-fi author and futurologist Stanislaw Lem. In that context, The Invincible might sound like The Witcher, since that was also created by a Polish studio and is based on the well-known works of Polish author Andrzej Sapkowski. That said, unlike The Witcher, which borrowed some elements from the books and built some of its own, The Invincible seems to be sticking very closely to the novel for its video game adaptation. Players assume the role of a doctor by the name of Jasna, who is a member of a space crew that's out exploring the far reaches of our galaxy to uncover the many secrets that lie there. In this alternate history, the Cold War never ended, and the race to space continues to rage on in full swing. Somehow, the team ends up crash-landing on the mysterious planet of Regis 3. As the team gets split up, Jasna must explore the planet to find them, and in the process, come face-to-face with the many dangers that lie within Regis 3. The plot seems to be a major focus of the experience, and the concept seems to be one that's rather fresh and worth exploring. You see, unlike Earth, where humans are the undisputed masters, Regis 3's hostile environments flips this concept on its head, with gargantuan robots and what have you roaming these foreign environments, and making survival an essential life skill that you will need to master as quickly as possible. Starwood Industries is also placing some emphasis on delivering a story that's also philosophical in some aspects, which should challenge players to rethink their biases and ambitions. The plot will also see players meeting a bunch of NPCs, both non-human and human, each having their own different ambitions and motivations. You can either befriend them or antagonize them, which will most likely have radical outcomes on the plot moving forward. If the game's descriptions are anything to go by, choice and consequence wouldn't simply be a matter of good versus evil, and players will have to carefully chart the path of least violence should they want to achieve the best ending. And much like Firewatch, The Invincible will also feature a conversation system with your astrogator, which should reveal vital information through radio communication as you're progressing towards your objectives. It all sounds like promising stuff, and we can't honestly wait to see how it all pans out in action. That said, the voice acting in particular is of subpar quality, and we're hoping that Starwood Industries makes the required improvements as The Invincible nears its imminent release. On to the gameplay side of things now. The Invincible's gameplay can best be described as a mix of survival horror and exploration gameplay found in the likes of Firewatch. Most of the time, players will be walking and running through the many areas in Regis 3 as they come face to face with both cosmic and psychological horrors such as alien drones and robotic spiders and whatnot. Players have an arsenal of retro-futuristic tools at their disposal to help better understand these threats, and possibly even avoid them. Firstly, there's the telemeter, which provides a rough skeleton of whatever is in the near vicinity of the player when the environment is surrounded by a thick layer of mist. There's also what looks to be a tablet of sorts, which we're assuming could act as a source of information for the many species that you encountered, effective strategies for defeating them, etc. Finally, there's also what looks to be a portable solar power or some field generator of some kind, with its umbrella-esque wings springing out as soon as it's planted into the ground. Finally, players will also have the opportunity to roam around these environments in a retro space van. Since we haven't seen guns or other lethal weaponry in the currently available footage, we're assuming that direct combat with these robots isn't a part of the gameplay loop. Instead, the Invincible will most likely force players to come up with creative strategies to get past these adversaries, which sounds really interesting to me on a conceptual level. To counter that, Starwood Industries said that the game will include action elements in a similar vein to Prey in an interview with WCCF Tech. And then there are the visuals. The Invincible has really nailed its retro-futuristic aesthetics, with its analog gadgets with a ton of mechanical buttons that use tapes for storing data. Starwood Industries describes the game's atmosphere as atom punk, and suffice to say, it's all really appropriate for the themes that the developer is trying to explore. The stranded desert-like planet of Regis 3 is populated with treacherous terrain, and little in the name of flora and fauna, except for the occasional metallic bushes. The colours are also muted, along with plenty of dark corners in the environment, which all culminate to form an uneasy and gloomy atmosphere that's a perfect fit for this brand of sci-fi horror. The Invincible started life as a project on Unreal Engine 4, although Starwood Industries said that it would be upgrading it to Unreal Engine 5. That said, it's unclear whether the recently showcased footage was running on the updated engine or not. Either way, it looks stunning, as with excellent post-processing effects and dimly lit environments being the highlights of the presentation. On the topic of release, unsurprisingly, Starwood Industries hasn't shelled out any concrete details, although we know that it will be coming out sometime next year. The Invincible will be coming to PC, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and PS5, and we can't wait to explore the far reaches of the planet of Regis 3 and come face to face with these gargantuan threats. So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.